They did it again. They did it again. The Baby Birds strike with a ninth inning come from behind victory. Grab your ugly shirt. It's time for Locked On Cardinals. Let's go.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Hafford. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. On today's show, we're going to break down this win from Thursday in Sacramento. We're going to talk about Michael McGreevy's start. We've got updates on Lars Nootbaar, Matt Pushard. We're going to preview the weekend ahead against the Royals, but we start with the comeback, the latest version of the comeback, version 12.0, as the Cardinals come from behind again. 12th come from behind victory. They steal one from an opponent. This time it was a series-clinching comeback victory over the A's, who had to be looking around going, what in the heck just happened? We had it. It's similar to how we all felt, and now the Cardinals felt last Sunday in San Diego. The Cardinals were down to their final strike. The game was over in most people's minds, but they give you 3 strikes, and they give you 27 outs for a reason. You can do whatever you want during those times, and this team continues to prove that they will fight until the very end. It's what they do best. It all started with Yohel Pozo, not a name that most people would think of when you think, oh, hey, how'd that rally start for you guys to come back and win? Yohel Pozo. Who? Most people won't know who the heck we're talking about, but we know who he is. 3-hit day, singles to lead off the inning, which is the first step in any comeback. You got to get that leadoff man on. Get him on however you can do it. And Pozo, 3-hit day. So JC comes in to pinch run, gives you that speed boost that you need, which will come in to play a little bit later. My guy Nathan Church flies out to center. Victor Scott, who had homered earlier in the game, an absolute missile into right field. Good for him. Stings one to left field. Hit it very well, but right at Soderstrom and left for the second out. So now our final out. That brings in J.J. Wetherholt, and he battles, gets down to his last strike, and then is hit by a pitch again. League-leading 10th time this season that J.J. Wetherholt has worn one from the other team, which scoots the JC up to scoring position, up to second base. And that brings in Ivan Herrera, who wastes no time. He pulls a sweeper, first pitch he sees, pulls it between the hole in short and third. You get that good speed. Ollie, big move there, making the move, bringing in JC for Pozo. Because of that, JC comes around from second base. He scores, ties the game up at 4. That's when Jordan Walker comes in next, and he kind of liked what Ivan did, didn't waste any time. Was like, hey, I'll swing at the first pitch too. Dumps one down the line in right field for an RBI double. Cardinals take the lead 5-4. And the fact that Jordan Walker actually even hit that pitch says something about how strong this man is. Heat, what was it, 97, 98, like up and in. It wasn't a strike, up and in. And he somehow fights it off and gets it down the right field line, which is wild because being able to put one there, I mean, totally jammed on the play. But because he's so strong, it finds its way over the first baseman, but just far enough out of reach of the right fielder. That's a double. A's change pitchers to bring in Joel Kunal, who ends up plunking Mason Wynn right away. And I kind of liked how Mason Wynn did like this little shimmy. I'll try to do it on camera. He's like, ooh. You know those commercials where they talk about you put the smelling stuff into your detergent and then they're like shaking in the commercial? That was kind of like the shimmy that Mason Wynn did. So anyway, he takes first base, and that loads the bases up for Nolan Gorman, who absolutely smokes one to center field, but the rookie Bolte makes the catch to end the threat. By the way, saying Bolte yesterday's episode, it's Bolte, I guess is how it's pronounced. So apologies for that, but Bolte, he makes the catch. Been a tough couple days for the guys, right? When with runners on base, that was really the problem on Wednesday, and it was a problem for most of Thursday. And they finally break through when it counted the most. And there's a confidence, there's a belief that is starting to build within this team. And the more you succeed, it's just like anything in life. The more you succeed at it, the more you are comfortable with it. And you start to feel like that is who you are. That's your personality. And that's what this team's doing. JJ, after the game, admitted as much after getting on base. And, he's got Ivan Herrera after him. And he's like, look, Herrera 0 for 4. I really, he's like, I just don't think Ivan's going 0 for 5. If I don't, he's going to find a hole. It's going to happen. That's the confidence and the belief in themselves that these guys have. JJ had faith in him, and the Cardinals have faith in themselves right now. Manager Ali Marmol commented on the group's demeanor in these situations that they continue to find themselves in, saying it was great because it's a tough road trip. You're here, you could easily fold. And there was this calmness to everything they did. I'm proud of my group, and he should be. He should be very proud of these guys right now. Youngest team in the big leagues, and they continue to play like guys who have been around for a few years and have played together for years and years, not in the minors, which a lot of them have, but in the big leagues. So they end up notching their third win of the season when trailing after 8 innings, which ties them with the Cincinnati Reds for the second most in Major League Baseball, behind only the Padres, who have 4. It was an incredible victory. It was an incredible victory. I was on the road to an engagement that I had to go to yesterday, so I wasn't able to be tweeting and commenting on the game as much as I normally do. So I appreciate everybody who reached out. They're like, "You okay, man? Where are you?" I'm good. Everything was good. I just had to do some other things for another job of mine, and it took me away from the Cardinals. But I got to my destination right as the 9th inning was starting, and I saw the base hit by Herrera and the Jordan Walker double. So honestly, the only action I saw live, because I had to go back and watch the game, but the only action I saw live was those final hits in the top of the 9th inning. I didn't even get to see the bottom of the 9th. That was like the 2 minutes that I had time. That's what I got to see. So it was cool. I was excited. And it was as exciting and as emotional a win that there was so far this season, similar to the one that they had against the Pirates, where they came out of nowhere and won that one. So awesome stuff. Loved it. Again, though, you think about the comeback and the focus is going to be on that 9th inning and how extraordinary it was, but they wouldn't have been in that spot. You had to think about everything that led up to getting them to that 9th inning. And it all started with your starting pitcher. Another excellent one for Michael McGreevy, who continues to impress. We're going to discuss his outing coming up next on Locked On Cardinals. The NBA playoffs are here and every possession matters. So if you're looking to get even closer to the action, FanDuel has got a great offer to get you started right now. New customers, you can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. And that's all right. That's all it is. Very simple. You turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started, just for signing up and giving it a try. I like using FanDuel during the playoffs because everything I need is right there. I like having everything in one simple place. I don't like having to go around finding things. It's tedious. It's not fun. FanDuel makes it fun. FanDuel makes it easy. Check the stats, check the trends, your matchups before making the picks that you decide that you want to go with, which makes the whole experience, it just makes you feel like you're a whole lot more informed, right? Whether you're looking at player props or maybe you're just following your favorite basketball stars, it adds another level of excitement to every game. Very easy app to navigate, makes playoff basketball more engaging from start to finish. Again, we've got 2 big games tonight. Pistons on the verge of getting upset again. They're down 3-2 to Cleveland. Game 6 tonight, as well as the Minnesota Timberwolves are hosting San Antonio. Spurs up 3-2. In Victor Wembanyama, we trust. I've been telling you this all season, so trust the process. Trust Victor. And if neither team wins, you've got Game 7s on Sunday, which is always awesome. Thunder and Knicks waiting in the conference finals for whoever wins these series. It's fun. NBA playoffs is a good time. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel. Play your game. If you've ever opened your bank account and thought, where did all my money go? That's a good question. You're not alone. It's happened to all of us. It's happened to me multiple times. Keeping track of subscriptions, your spending, your bills, it gets overwhelming and it happens pretty fast to you. And that's where our friends at Rocket Money come in, and they're going to help you out. They're going to help you take control of your finances all in one place. They track your subscriptions. They're going to help you cancel the ones that you don't need anymore, because there's the odds are good that you probably got a few of them on there. You might be paying for movie channels twice. They don't tell you that. I almost had that problem with HBO Max recently. I was like, hold on a second. Why is this, and that? Rocket Money will help you out. It automatically categorizes your spending so you can actually see where the money's going. It'll set budgets, get alerts, stay on top of your upcoming bills, makes everything feel more organized, gives you a clearer picture of your finances day to day. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that will help find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Just join at rocketmoney.com/locked-on. That's rocketmoney.com/locked on. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen of the day. Thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. Our Everydayer Club unlocks every episode ad-free and gives you access to our private listener group chat. If you haven't joined yet, might want to check that out. Tap the link in the show notes or go to lockedonstlcardinals.supercast.com for more information. So another excellent start for Mr. Michael McGreevy. Excellent stuff. And his start paved the way for the Cardinals' come-from-behind victory. And my question is it time to start seriously believing in the former first-round pick? Because I know me, you, the rest of Cardinal Nation, we already love this guy. We love him. Everybody loves Michael McGreevy in St. Louis already, but he hasn't gotten the attention that maybe he needs to start getting from national outlets and other people in other cities. You know, it wasn't that long ago that many believed that Michael McGreevy actually wasn't going to live up to his first-round draft status. You know, in the year he got drafted, he makes 7 starts. I think that was 2021. 7 starts, 9.39 ERA. Whatever. Rookie, right? 20 starts at Springfield in 2022, ERA of 4.64. Not the worst thing in the world, but not like, oh, that's a first-round picks numbers. 2023, 4.49 in 24 starts at Memphis. So many started to ponder whether or not he was ever going to be something that's a stable arm for this organization. You know, when you take a pitcher in the first round, you expect him to help you at the major league level sooner rather than later. 2024 season, you know, he's pitching for the minors down in Memphis, and Cardinals call him up. If you remember this, they call him up, and he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant in 4 appearances, had a 1.96 ERA. I remember when they were interviewing, remember when they traded for Tommy Pham? They got Eric Fetty and they got Tommy Pham. Of course, you remember this. And McGreevy was the pitcher in the game that Tommy Pham, when he got traded and came over to the Cardinals, that was who was pitching the game that he first arrived in St. Louis. And he was making a spot start at the time for the team. And they asked Tommy Pham, they're like, hey, what do you think about McGreevy's start? He was like, man, that guy, he's pretty good. And they were like, yeah, it's just a spot start. And he's like, that was just a spot start? He's like, something to the effect of like, well, we need to figure out how to way to keep that guy here or something, because he was outstanding. And Tommy Pham, veteran of this game, recognized how good Michael McGreevy looked. Then last year, he had to start at Memphis because the rotation was full. If you remember, there wasn't any room for him. Ends up getting called up in May. He throws a 1-hit gem against the New York Mets. Finally gets called up for good in June and has been as dependable a guy that they've had ever since. And this year, he just continues to prove the analytics wrong. I mean, you look at, I keep bringing it up because so much of this, you know, era of baseball is based upon like analytics. And you go to like the Baseball Savant page and you see what StatCast says about these guys. And what it says about Michael McGreevy doesn't match what his numbers are. Like, he's not supposed to be this good according to that stuff. But he's proven the analytics wrong. He doesn't throw hard enough for them. He doesn't have enough swing and miss. Yet, he continues to beat really good offensive teams. And although he didn't factor in the decision on Thursday, he was the reason the Cardinals were still in the mix by the 6th inning when he threw his last pitch. He allowed 1 run, leadoff dinger to Nick Kurtz, who has awakened. Like, we woke the sleeping giant. So best of luck to the rest of the American League, because Kurtz looked pretty darn good in this series. But he gives up that 1 run on the leadoff home run, 5 hits in total, 3 strikeouts. He only walks 1, which he always does. He never hurts himself. He did get some help from his ginormous right fielder, Jordan Walker, to rob a home run at one point, but that's what your defense is out there for. But he allowed 3 hits in that first inning, if you remember, but got out of it. And that on top of the catch from Walker in that third inning, he retires 12 of the last 13 hitters he faced. He only threw 74 pitches, which made you wonder, like, why exactly did he get pulled from this game? But in his career, Michael McGreevy is now 14-6 with a 3.39 ERA. And this year, he's got his ERA at a sparkling 2.10 after 9 starts, 11th best in baseball, 7th best in the National League. Opponent's batting average has dipped down to 189 against him, which is the 9th lowest in the league. His whip has dropped to 0.88, which is 3rd best in the league, behind Shohei Ohtani and Paul Skeens. In what universe did you ever think that we would be talking about Michael McGreevy, Paul Skeens, and Shohei Ohtani sharing something in the league leaders? I mean, did you ever think that would happen? To be sitting here amongst those two pitchers coming into the season? Hell no. You did not. Nobody did. You can't say you did. I don't believe you. I don't think Michael McGreevy's family thought he'd be as good as he is, but he has been this good. And we shouldn't take it for granted. So good stuff. Michael McGreevy, props to you. Bullpen, disappointment. Yes, Stanek, he'd been outstanding recently. I think it was 6 straight scoreless appearances. Gets tagged for a dinger by Zach Geloff, and then a walk ends his day. Did get a strikeout of the first batter he faced, but, you know, those walks, they're the ones that'll kill you, man. And JoJo comes in, and he's not very effective, gives up 3 straight singles, and just like that, you're trailing 3-1. Your lead is the 3-1 lead is erased. Cardinals are down 4-3 now. And just like that, just boom, blink of an eye, it was gone. But shout out to Matt Swanson, who came in the 8th inning, shutout inning, gave up a hit, but a shutout inning, and that gave everybody a chance to pause. And then the Cardinals were able to take the lead in the top of the 9th inning for that miracle finish. Riley O'Brien comes in, ends up hitting Kurtz, which we were like, oh gosh, here we go. Really? We got to do what the other team just did. But Riley O'Brien was magnificent after that. Picks up his league-leading 13th save of the season. Here's the thing with the bullpen. We know it's not great. All right? It's not even really average. Let's be honest. Got the 5th worst bullpen ERA in baseball right now. They're going to have good and bad days. It just is what it is. The A's offense is very good. So we can't get bent out of shape every single time someone scores against the bullpen. It's going to happen. It happens to every team in the league. Cardinals put very little money into their bullpen this year. They're relying on guys they already had. A couple of these guys haven't been as good as we thought they were going to be. Maybe they will get better. Matt Swanson has looked better the last couple of outings. Maybe he's turning things around. Stanek, besides, you know, the hiccup on Thursday, has been much better over the last few appearances. So there's room to grow, obviously. And Riley O'Brien, you know, he had his hiccup against San Diego. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, you guys. So you can't get crazy every time they give up some runs. You know, my advice is you just got to take a deep breath and say, hey, at least we got this good offense that doesn't quit. So you're always in it. You always have a chance. So that's my advice to you. 3 stars of the game coming up. We also got that news on Lars Nootbaar and a preview of Kansas City coming up on Locked on Cardinals. Workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, the inbox, it's overflowing, and the one position you still have to fill, still open. When the pressure's on, you need the right hire. This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for. Just like filling out a major league roster. All right, we need some power. All right, you got to find the right guy. You got to find some guy with power. You need experience, people who have been in your situation before. Location, obviously, you need somebody that is going to be available where your job is at. So the idea is that instead of just hoping that the right candidate is going to stumble across magically and find you, Indeed Sponsored Jobs going to find them. And here's a stat that says it all. The minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all of your boxes, give you what you need. Less stress, less time, more results. When you need the right person to cut through all that chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status that it deserves. And that'll happen at Indeed.com/podcast. Go to Indeed.com/podcast right now. Support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on Locked on Cardinals. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed, sponsored jobs. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen of the day. Thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. All right, 3 stars of the game on Thursday. Number 1 star, we're going with Big J-Dub. Going to be a birthday boy here in about a week. Jordan Walker, 12th home run of the year, opposite field. Love that. Robbed a home run in right field. Love that. And he's so nonchalant about sticking his hand over the wall and just pulling that home run back. I know it wasn't like where he had to do the leap like most people do because the wall was so short, but I mean, most things are short to him. He's 6'6". So that was cool. And I just loved how nonchalant it was and just casual. He's just like, boop, got it. So he does that. Then he goes off and hits the game-winning RBI double in the top of the 9th inning. He's now tied for 3rd in the National League in home runs, 6th in RBIs, 4th in slugging. He's 4th in OPS. The dude is having a monster season, an absolutely monster season for the Cardinals right now. Second star, we're going with McGreevy. Why wouldn't you? You could argue he should be the #1 guy. 6 innings, 1-run ball, continues to be the Cardinals' best starter, leads the club in ERA, leads in innings pitched, hits against, walks, whip, batting average against. He's been an absolute dog. So he should get all the accolades and the flowers and everything that goes along with being a stud. Third star, we're going to go with Yohel Pozo, who does not have a picture from yesterday's game, which is really, really sad considering he had 3 hits. Where are my camera people at? Yohel Pozo, show some love and respect. Started the rally that led to the comeback, that leadoff single in the 9th inning. I know most fans are starting to hope to see more of him than Pedro Pagés right now. So maybe this 3-hit game will earn him another start this weekend, whether it's at DH, whether it's catching, something like that. Why not? Why not, right? You know, Pagés has really hit like crap recently. What was it? 1 for his last 26, something like that. Not good. Whatever it is, not good. I mean, Yohel Pozo just had 3 hits. So we'll see what Ali decides to do. I'm not saying he's going to bench Pedro Pagés, but maybe Pozo gets a start in this series. They do have a lefty on the mound, I think Saturday. I think it's Noah Cameron on Saturday. So we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, Lars Nootbaar. Haven't seen him in a while. Haven't heard much about him in a while. Officially begins his rehab assignment tonight with Low A Palm Beach. He's been participating in batting practice, pregame activities with the team while rehabbing the heel surgery that he went with for both of his heels. He's currently on the 60-day IL, is eligible, though, to come off on May 24th, which is 9 days away. So we're inching closer and closer. Decisions will have to be made on what's going to go on with that outfield. I don't think they're going to send Victor Scott down. I just don't think they're going to do that. I think you lose to JC. It's probably the guy that's going to drop when it happens, but we'll see. We'll see. Nootbaar will have a max of 20 days. 20 days as a position player to spend at any of the minor league affiliates. So we'll see where he goes after A-ball. You know, he'll climb up just so he can face better competition. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully there's no setbacks. I would love to see what adding somebody like Lars Nootbaar, a healthy Lars Nootbaar, would do for this lineup that's already doing pretty well. Cardinals are planning to have him move up through the system based on schedule as he nears his return to St. Louis, so that's good. Reliever Matt Pushard, nearing a return to the majors as well. He's about done with the maximum number of days that he's allowed to stay on a rehab assignment. I think they get 30 as a pitcher. It's 24 position player, 34 a pitcher. So he's been down there for about a month getting back from things. It was a knee problem that he was dealing with. Scoreless inning on Wednesday. He's made 11 appearances for AAA. ERA 3.55. He's got 10 Ks and 12 2/3 innings over the past month. He's the Rule 5 pick, if you remember. They took him from the Marlins, so he's got to be either on the active roster, the Major League injured list, or they got to pass him through waivers and possibly return him to the Marlins. But I think it was Derek Gould that was writing about this, said that the Cardinals intend to keep him. They're not like going to be like, we're done with him. They're going to keep him, which means he's going to have to be activated soon, as early as this weekend. So obviously you guys forget that Jared Schuster is on this roster. I do too. Guy hasn't pitched since May 6th. Today's the 15th. So he seems to be the logical guy that would go down when Pushard is activated. I-70 series starts tonight at Busch Stadium with the Kansas City Royals in town. They've been struggling. They're in last place in the AL Central at 19-25. They've lost 4 in a row. They just got swept in a 3-game series by the Chicago White Sox. they still got a lot of talent on this team. It's a little bit of a puzzling season for them so far because the roster looks better than it should than the record says. Bobby Witt Jr., one of the best talents in the game. He's at short. Salvi Perez is a legend, future Hall of Famer for them. Michael Garcia, fantastic over at third base. You've got Vinny Pasquantino. You've got the Pasquatch. I love that nickname. Jack Caglione. They're in the lineup. It's not weak by any means. Offensively, they've got some good pieces. The pitching hasn't quite lived up to what they thought it was going to be. Cole Reagans is out with an injury right now. We don't have to worry about Cardinal killer Jonathan India, which is good. He's out with an injury. Not saying we want people hurt, but it's not a bad thing that Jonathan India can't play against the Cardinals because I think, don't quote me on this, but I think his career batting average against the Cardinals is somewhere around 800. I think it is because it seems like he murders us. Tonight, you got Dustin May against former Cardinal Michael Wacha. He's been the one Royals starter that has been dependable for them. 4-2, 2.63 ERA, coming off 7 shutout innings against Detroit. So might be a low score tonight. Saturday, Kyle Leahy against the lefty Noah Cameron, which would be a good spot for Yohel Pozo to get a little more action. We'll see what happens. He's pitched well against the Cardinals in the past, but hasn't been so good this year. Sunday, Andre Palante against Stephen Kolek, who has had moments of being pretty good, but it's a struggling Kansas City team. Let's keep them down there. All right, let's get 2 or 3 for this I-70 series and have ourselves a nice homestand. Good start to the homestand. So thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. If you haven't already, give us a follow on X at @LO_Cardinals, TikTok, Instagram at Locked On Cardinals. Like, subscribe on YouTube. Making the push for 15,000 subscribers. Need your help. If you never miss an episode, you're an everydayer, which means you need to be in the Everydayer Club. Get Locked On Cardinals ad-free, members-only Discord access, and more. Head to Locked On STL, Cardinals.supercast.com to join the club. Video side will send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On the audio side, make sure your second listen is Locked On MLB. Or you can go listen to any past episodes that you've missed because you don't want to do that, right? You're the best fans in baseball for a reason. We'll see you next time on Locked On Cardinals. Let's get them, boys.